I've been thinking a lot about water today. I got some bottled water from Whole Foods. And I think we all know that the water wars are going to start. The drought's going to get worse. So what are we to do about it, right? Look at it in a logical way of the math. Where's the water going? Most of it is going towards agriculture, and most of that is going towards the grasses and hay type of things that we grow for livestock. So if everybody would stop eating meat or consume less meat, then right there would be a huge source of water that we could use instead of using it to grow hay and stuff for cattle, because obviously it takes a lot more food to feed a cow or any kind of I always think of cattle because I'm from a cattle farm, but any type of animal, it's going to take a lot more food to feed it for its entire life, for it to get to the maturity stage of it can be slaughtered, even though they only live, a couple of years or so. um, they have to eat every day, and they eat all of this food, and then they only produce a portion of food compared to what they've eaten. So if we would stop using water for that and instead eat other types of food, for one, that would help with food shortages, but also that would help with the water situation, which is about to be a pretty big deal. Another thing is we use water for sewer, for the sewage system. We've got to update this. We've got to start using water more wisely instead of just contaminating it with feces and urine. And, people take medications, they urinate into the water, defecate into the water, it gets put in through the sewer system, ends up back in the rivers and the reservoirs. It gets taken out, it gets filtered, but those medicines don't get filtered out at any stage. So when you're drinking the water, you're just drinking the medications that other people have taken. So we need to stop contaminating the water by using it as toilets. Um, and that's a huge issue because it's like people can't just start going out and doing it on the streets or on the grass and their lawns or in the woods. Like, that wouldn't be sanitary either. We need some sort of compost system, and then use the compost not for food or anything that would contaminate what we're going to put into our bodies, but use the compost maybe in like forests or something where we're growing wood for products like paper. That way, it isn't a product that we're actually consuming. Do it in a responsible way that keeps it sanitary and safe, as opposed to just directly contaminating the water. Even with things like reverse osmosis, it doesn't really get it that clean. And that could all be avoided. We have to redo the whole system. That would require a new system coming into formation of how we're going to deal with this issue. The problem is obviously very complex, and we've been doing it this way for so long. And that's one of those things where people are very dead set, and like that's their comfort zone. That's what they've done their whole life. It's an intimate thing to talk about going to the bathroom, and to change your mindset on how we do these things is very, very difficult, especially on such a large scale with so many people. Entire societies will have to change how they deal with this problem. But Another way to get water, to get clean water, a lot of people think of, catching rain and then purifying it in some way. That's a decent idea. However, with the amount of pollution that's in the air, the amount of gasoline vehicles and diesel vehicles that are in constant operation, when it rains, these chemicals get into the water, and there's really not any way I can think of to purify the water from that. People might say, oh, like charcoal and sand and stuff will completely make it clean, but I'm not really sure about that. But a way to get water from the air, even if it isn't raining, because that's going to be a new problem that we're going to start seeing and that we are seeing, is there's not rain. So to get water from the air, I've seen where they have these nets that catch water from the atmosphere. As the earth is warming, it becomes easier for the atmosphere to hold more water, and the capacity for the atmosphere to hold more water grows exponentially as it gets hotter, which means it won't rain. It won't be released back into the system, into the cycle. To capture it, we need these nets that will capture it. And then we just need to do this as a society and stop acting like the problem's so big or too expensive, or someone else will do it, or all these excuses that we have. But I mean, we're facing these problems, the infrastructure is crumbling, and it's already an issue. Something needs to be done about it. And obviously, the government is corrupt and they're not going to do anything about it. Businesses and companies, corporations, they're all corrupt. They're not going to do anything about it. Money is the root of all evil.